Hello, students. I'm so glad you're joining me. I'm getting ready to do one of my favorite tasks, feeding the fish. They're always so happy to see me. First, let me get dressed for the job. All ready, let's grab the fish food. Now it's important not to overfeed the fish, so I'm only going to give them a little bit. I love to start my days hanging out with these fish. It feels good to take care of other living things. This is Mr. Speck. He prefers to be by himself. And this is Marvin. He's the biggest fish in the tank. He only swims at night. He's a vegetarian and he really likes cucumbers. I always find it so relaxing to watch the fish swim back and forth. It's my happy place. I have precisely 55 fish and they are pretty small, but I know there are bigger fish in the sea. I wonder what animals live in the ocean. What are the different areas of the ocean like? How do animals breathe underwater?
Ahoy, Mr. Ritz. Are you there?
I'm here. Why, if it isn't Sammy the shark. It's so great to hear from you. It's been far too long.
Yes, well, I'm a little embarrassed.
Why is that, Sammy?
Well, Mr. Ritz, I'm lost. I was out chasing a school of sea bass, and I must have gone a bit farther than I thought. Nothing looks like home. Where are the corals? Why is the water so cold?
Sammy, I'd be very happy to help you out. Can you describe what's around you? What do you observe?
Oh, right. The water is pretty cloudy, lots of sediment floating around. It doesn't taste as salty as it normally does either. And let's see, that's different. Wood pillars covered in barnacles.
Okay, so you see wood pillars covered in barnacles, lots of sediment, and the water is not as salty. I'm going to have to do some research and get back to you.
Thanks, Mr. Ritz.
Can we help Sammy find his way home? Let's investigate. Wait a minute, my cousin Dr. Ritz, the marine biologist, works at the American Museum of Natural History. Let's go pay him a visit. I'll grab my other hat. Let's go! Wow, we made it! Dr. Ritz told me to meet him in the Milstein Family Hall of Ocean Life. Do you think he'll recognize me? Maybe this way. Wow, I never knew there were so many things in the museum. I wonder, how are we going to find the Hall of Ocean Life? What about a map? This museum is so big that the museum provides a map to every visitor to find what they came to see. Let's take a look. This is a map of the first floor. Do you see ocean life on the map? This hall over here, planet Earth? No. North American forests? No. Oh, do you see the big whale? Yes, there it is, the Hall of Ocean Life. Let's go meet my cousin, Dr. Ritz, the marine biologist. We're on the second floor. Let's find our way downstairs. This way, please. Dr. Ritz, are you in here? Wow! Remember that big whale from the map? Now that is a big, big, big blue whale! Hey, Mr. Ritz, I'm down here. Dr. Ritz! Dr. Ritz! I found you! This is my favorite place to meet people at the museum, right here, under the big blue whale. I'm a marine biologist, and that means I study life in the ocean. Are you a teacher shark? Just trying to blend in. I didn't know there are animals this big in the ocean. Oh yeah, there are thousands of blue whales like this living in our oceans. They live in the open ocean, a featureless expanse of water far from shore. How long is this blue whale? Blue whales typically grow 70 to 100 feet. Oh, okay. The last time I visited the museum, I saw a titanosaur that was 122 feet long. So I guess the blue whale is not as big. Well, it's not as long, but a titanosaur had a long, thin tail and a long, thin neck. My friend Big Blue here is much more massive and is way heavier than a titanosaur would have ever been. So we could say it's the biggest. Blue whales are the biggest animals to have ever lived on Earth, and they are swimming in our oceans right now. That's amazing. I'd say Big Blue is the length of 1, 2, 3 whole school buses or 1 whole basketball court. I wonder, how do they get so big? By eating the teeniest, tiniest things. Blue whales eat krill, tiny shrimp-like creatures, up to 6 tons of krill a day. That weighs as much as 3 cars. Even though you might be impressed by Big Blue's size, never forget how important the littlest creatures are. That's right. Even though you too might be small, you too are important. What's next, Dr. Ritz? Look at all these creatures that live in the ocean. They're not all fish. That's right. None of these organisms are fish. There are lobsters and octopus and jellyfish. Oh my, I can see that now. So many different sea creatures, so many shapes and colors. And even though they might be different colors, shapes, and sizes, they're all part of the ocean environment. Actually, there are many different environments under the ocean, an even greater variety than on land. Would you like to see a few? We can see different ocean environments right here at the museum. Of course. Part of New York City has this type of underwater environment. It's an estuary where a river meets the sea. Do you know which river flows past New York City? Yes, the Hudson River. It flows right past New York City where it meets the Atlantic Ocean. This is what the Hudson River looks like under the water? That's right. The fresh water from the river mixes with the salt water of the ocean. The saltiness of the water can change with the tides and seasons. The animals that live in this water are able to tolerate these changes, and that makes them special. So when the ocean's tides come in, salt water flows up the river, and when the tide goes back out, the salt water flows back out. You got it! The daily reversal of flow from the tides can stir up sediments and make the water cloudy. Wait a minute. Our friend Sammy the shark is lost, and he said he saw wood pillars covered in barnacles. The water is cloudy with sediment, and the water is not as salty. Do you know where Sammy is? That's right, Sammy is in an estuary. I can't wait to tell him. These fish are much bigger than the ones in my fish tank. My fish come from a tropical region. Can we see an environment with tropical fish? Of course, follow me. Wow, look at all these colors. These sea creatures are just so colorful, just like my fish. This is the coral reef. Coral reefs are like cities in the sea. They are built by millions of tiny animals and support a vast abundance of underwater organisms. It looks like there are nooks and crannies for little creatures to hide. Coral reefs provide food as well as habitat. It's a densely packed community where many animals live on or even inside other animals. That's one way to play hide and seek. I know you like to grow plants in your classroom, Mr. Ritz. Did you know that some fish are farmers too? Really? Check out this dusky farmer fish. They mainly eat from patches of algae that grow on the reef. They guard and cultivate these gardens. That's how they got their farmer nickname. I had no idea you could farm in the ocean or that fish could be farmers. Amazing! Farmer fish are very protective of their gardens. This school of powder blue sturgeonfish have to swoop down in overwhelming numbers and gobble up what they can before they are chased away by the farmer. The school of fish? The fish go to school too? A group of fish that swim together are called a school. Did you know that fish swimming together in a group are called a school of fish? Some fish school together to stay safe because they look bigger as a group, and that makes them stronger. Dr. Ritz, how do the fish know to stay together? Do they talk to each other? Fish can communicate with each other. Come, I'd like to show you one more underwater environment. Marine biologists have discovered that fish communicate with each other using color, smell, movement, body language, and bioluminescence. Big word alert! Bioluminescence! Can you count the syllables? Bi-o-lu-in-e-sense. 6. Even in the deepest parts of the ocean, many marine animals aren't in the dark because they make their own light. They use bioluminescence. Chemicals in their bodies mix together to produce cold light, which doesn't give off any heat. Some of the bioluminescent animals, like the anglerfish, get their glow from tiny microbes that live inside special light organs inside their bodies. That is so cool! I wish I had lights on me to communicate. That's not all, Mr. Ritz. Some fish can even make sounds. Fish communicate with each other, especially in the morning and the evening, with a special collection of sounds that scientists call vocalizing. Different fish have different ways of making sounds, like grunts, chirps, and pops. Can you make a grunt sound? How about a chirp sound?
Chirp.
And what about a pop?
Pop.
And some fish fart.
Fart.
I don't think farting counts as vocalizing, Dr. Ritz. Well, actually, they may use farts to communicate. You better watch which end of the fish the bubbles come from. I had no idea fish make sounds. I'll have to listen much closer to the fish in my tank. Dr. Ritz, thank you so much for showing us all the different ocean environments today, but I need to get back to my classroom. You're welcome, Mr. Ritz. Come back anytime. There are even more ocean environments to explore. I have one final marine biology question. I wonder, why doesn't the big blue whale have any gills? Well, that's because whales are not fish. Whales are mammals, and all mammals have lungs like you and me. They don't breathe underwater. Instead, whales swim up to the surface to breathe air. I wonder, how long can a big whale like that hold its breath? Blue whales usually come up to breathe every 30 minutes, but they can hold a breath in their lungs for up to 90 minutes. That's an hour and a half. Wow, that's a lot of oxygen. You should come visit the Bernard Family Hall of North American Mammals next time. I would love that. I can't wait to see them. See you soon, Big Blue. Bye-bye. Did you know that you can visit ocean life at the museum too? You can go in person or you can even go online. Visit the American Museum of Natural History online at www.amnh.org www.kahoot.com/explore. Take a virtual tour with Google Street View. Test your knowledge of the natural world on Kahoot, or explore Ology, the museum's science website for kids. Welcome back to class, students. I had so much fun exploring the American Museum of Natural History with you today. Let's draw our friend, Big Blue, the blue whale today. For this directed drawing, you'll simply need a piece of paper or something to draw with, a pencil, crayon, or a marker. You may like to use a pencil so you can erase, but I'm going to use a marker so you can see it better. Now remember, Big Blue is gonna swim right across the page. So we'll want to put his head here and his tail right there. So I will start by making his head. I'm going to start with a simple sideways V. The next thing I'll do is add in an eye. And then I'll add in his mouth. Now remember, Big Blue had a blowhole on his head, so we'll make a little hole so he can breathe. And then across the bottom, we're gonna go right to the back. Wow, look at that. And we'll do the same thing across the top. We'll add a fin in here, and across the back, we're gonna make two little leaves, one like this, and then one like this, and one like that, and that makes his tail. We're almost done. We'll add in some lines here, and then some lines for his underbelly, and wow, Big Blue, he's a happy guy. The next thing we'll do is we'll color him in. He's a combination of blue and gray. So we'll add some blue down here, around the bottom. Oh, look at that. And then we're gonna add it in around his tail. Oh my. Big Blue really is looking pretty happy. Then we'll add in a little gray to go underneath because he's a combination of blue and gray. We'll add in some gray all across his body. Now remember, mammals have little bits of hair, so we could put some hair. He has almost as much hair as me. And then we'll add in some more blue. A big blue as he swims across the ocean. I hope you like drawing Big Blue with me. We can even add in his eyeball. And look at that, Big Blue. I hope you enjoyed drawing today. Hi, Sammy.
Hi, Mr. Ritz. Did you learn something that will help me find my way home?
I think we did, and so much more. We learned about fish, sea creatures, and ocean environments today. We learned that fish have lots of ways to communicate, even vocalizing. We learned that fish need oxygen to breathe, just like us. We learned that fish use their gills to pull oxygen out of the water. We learned that fish even go to school, or at least they swim in large groups to protect each other. What a great community it sounds like. And we learned that Sammy is in an estuary. Sammy, is there anything you can tell us that will help us figure out which estuary you are in?
Let's see. There's a tall green lady standing on an island in the water. I asked her for directions, but she didn't answer back.
The Statue of Liberty, Sammy! You're in New York City! The nearest tropical coral reef is in the Caribbean Sea. Turn around, head south. You should be there in a few days.
Oh, what a relief. Thanks, Mr. Ritz. I'll call you when I get there.
Okie dokie, Sammy. That sounds great. Have a great trip. Bye-bye. I can't wait to explore with you again, my friends. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Papa.